Mistakes are common in animated shows, and our favorite show, Peppa Pig, is no different. And in today's video, we're going to share some of the funniest animation errors we found in Peppa Pig. Like in the episode, Granny Sheep moves in, Peppa and Susie are playing games at Susie's house. Moments later, Mummy Sheep comes in to clean up the room. Now watch carefully. Mummy Sheep carries 3 cardboard boxes and goes into another room. But the mistake is, when they reach the other room, the color of the cardboard box on the top changes to white. But earlier, all the boxes were of the same color. And that's not all. When Mummy Sheep puts down the boxes, the white box magically changes its color. Now, it's back to the original color. The cardboard box seems to have a mind of its own. Now, this next animation error is really funny. In the episode Traffic Jam, Peppa and her family are going to Granny Pig's house for lunch. But on the way, they get stuck in the traffic. If we zoom onto Miss Rabbit's car, we can notice that her ears are sticking out of the roof, which is impossible unless her ears are made out of metal. Moving on, the episode The Perfect Day isn't that perfect at all because we spotted several animation errors in it. Here, Peppa and her family go to the mall so that Mummy Pig can have a perfect day experience. When the pig family enters Miss Rabbit's spa, we can notice that Mr. Bull is also there getting a massage. Moments later, Peppa, George, and Daddy Pig exit the spa to explore the mall. And while they are doing so, they walk by a china shop. And in the china shop, we can see Mr. Bull. But just a moment ago, he was at the spa getting a massage. Did he just teleport? And that's not all. While exploring the mall, Peppa meets Susie, and they decide to take some funny pictures in the photo booth. If we look carefully, we can notice paintings on both sides of the photo booth. But the mistake is when they exit the photo booth, the paintings are not there anymore. But earlier, we clearly saw 2 paintings on either side of the booth. But wait, there's one more mistake left in this episode. After having a perfect day, the pig family exits the mall. And if we look at the entrance of the mall, we can notice there are 3 symbols placed on either side of the door. But the issue is, earlier when the pig family was entering the mall, on the left side, there were 4 symbols, not just 3. In the episode School Camp, Peppa and her friends go on a camping trip with their teacher, Madame Gazelle. When they reach the camping spot, we can notice that Peppa is wearing a purple backpack. But the mistake is, when she starts setting up the camp with Susie, her backpack is now red. Within seconds, Peppa's backpack changed colors. And that's not all. When Peppa and Susie are setting up the tent, moments later, the scene zooms out. And if we zoom in at Peppa and Susie, we can notice they're not wearing backpacks at all. Later in the episode, when everyone is sleeping, Susie comes out of her tent with a torch, and we can see that the torch is red-colored. But the mistake is, when Susie reaches Madame Gazelle's tent, the torch is now purple. Seriously, what's up with all these items changing colors within seconds? Moving on, in the episode The Market, Peppa and family take a trip to the market to buy some items. After buying some apples, they go to Miss Cow's stall. Now notice that Daddy Pig is holding a basket with apples in it, and Mummy Pig is standing right behind him. But the issue is, when Daddy Pig gets knocked off to the floor from the smell of the cheese, Mummy Pig and the basket disappear. And that's not all. Moments later, when the pig family goes to Mr. Fox's stall, he shows them a variety of items. Firstly, he shows them a wooden apple, and after that, he shows them plastic cheese. Notice that the wooden apple is still there, but when the scene zooms out, the wooden apple simply disappears. I'm not surprised by this because there's always something fishy going on with Mr. Fox. In the episode Ice Cream, when Peppa is giving away free ice cream to her friends, notice that Susie asks for a raspberry ice cream and Mandy asks for a blueberry ice cream.
Raspberry? Can I have blueberry?
However, when Peppa serves ice cream to her friends, Susie gets a mint ice cream and Mandy gets a strawberry ice cream, but the blueberry ice cream goes to Zoe Zebra. We must say, Peppa isn't that good of an ice cream seller. In the episode Sports Day, it is the sports day at Peppa's school, and the first event is running. While everyone is taking their running stance, Peppa and Susie argue about who is faster. While they argue, the race starts, and Daddy Pig shouts out that the race has already started. Then only Peppa and Susie start running, but it's too late and the winner is Rebecca Rabbit. Now look carefully. When Rebecca Rabbit is presented with the trophy, everyone cheers for her, and Susie Sheep is also one of them. But the issue is, seconds later, when the scene switches, we see Peppa and Susie still on the racetrack arguing with each other. But moments ago, Susie Sheep was with all the students cheering for Rebecca. Did she teleport? In the episode Sailing Boat, Peppa and George go sailing with Grandpa Pig. They get on his boat and realize there is no tide to sail their boat. Soon the tide comes, and the three pigs happily sail. But later in the episode, they lose the tide and get stranded in the sea. Now look carefully. When Grandpa Pig is calling Grandma Pig, if we zoom onto the deck, we can notice there is no hatch there. But seconds later, when the scene zooms in, a hatch magically appears in front of Grandpa Pig. And that's not all. Later, when Peppa and George go to bed, we can notice they go to the bed wearing life jacket on top of their regular clothes. But the next morning, when Peppa wakes up, we can notice she's now wearing her nightgown. Maybe she changed her clothes in her dreams. In the episode The Diner, Peppa and family are driving in their large camper van across America to get to Hollywood. While on their journey, they stop at a diner to ask for directions and meet another Miss Rabbit. Later in the episode, Peppa and George are at the diner, orchestrating the dance. Now look carefully at this elephant character. When Peppa tells everyone to be a dinosaur, his tusk simply vanishes and reappears moments later. In the episode Sunsea and Snow, Peppa and her friends and family are looking forward to a trip to the seaside where they can make sandcastles. But when they arrive at the beach, there is too much snow. Right when everyone is getting off of the bus, we can notice there are 3 umbrellas. From left to right, they are colored pink, blue, and green. But when Madame Gazelle runs to the sea, only 2 are shown, and the green umbrella moves over next to the pink one. Then, in the final scene, the blue umbrella takes over for the green. Seriously, Peppa Pig's animators love mixing up the colors. In the episode Spooky Ghost Hunting, we see that when Peppa and her friends leave the kitchen to look for ghosts, there are 5 pumpkins, 3 bowls on the table. And also, there is nothing on the shelves near the refrigerator except for the clock that says 8 o'clock. And shortly after everyone returns, we can notice that on the left side of the refrigerator, strangely, a large pumpkin appears with a cake that was not there before, and the clock continued to show 8 o'clock. And also on the table, there are now 7 pumpkins plus the 3 bowls. Where did the rest come from? In the episode where Peppa and her family are making a banana split, we noticed some weird errors. At the beginning, we can notice that when Peppa asks Grandma Pig what a banana split is, there's a wooden board with a knife and 5 bananas on the table. After Grandma and George each take 1 banana, we notice that the wooden board is no longer there and only 2 bananas remain on the plate. And also, mysteriously, there is another banana in the ice cream cup. This kitchen seriously seems to be magical. In the episode Detective Peppa, Peppa and George are playing detective to find Teddy. When Peppa enters her room, we can notice that there's a path of breadcrumbs leading the way. Later, when Peppa starts asking questions to Daddy Pig, we can notice that the crumbs aren't there anymore. And that's not all. Later, when Peppa gets out of her bed after finding Teddy, the crumbs are visible again. But the issue is, they are now closer to the door instead of window. Earlier, the crumbs led all the way to the window. Maybe Daddy Pig ate those crumbs. So, these were some of the errors that we spotted in Peppa Pig. And as always, we'll see you all in the next video.